What is up, and welcome in to the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I'm your host, Ezra McCann. I'm joined as always by my outstanding co-host. He's a Chicago Public League legend. He's a Simeon legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He was all SWAC back in the day for the Tigers. He played second base there. He's Brandon Williams, a.k.a. Coach Smoke. And we've got the NFL Draft analyst, Madden Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There you go.
It's his time of the year, though. His mock drafts are up on NBCSportsChicago.com and the My Teams app. He's Glenn Morgan. He's our GM. We are back, gentlemen. What's going on? How you guys doing?
Man, doing good, man. Doing good.
Doing all right, except for that stay in Memphis, but talk about that at a different time.
Well, you brought it up. You got to tell the story now.
Oh man, I had a wonderful trip planned for my two youngest daughters and I to join my wife, who was working in New Orleans on a business trip. We were going to join her, meet up with her. So we left this past Tuesday to drive down there. Going to stay in Memphis, halfway point. If Memphis, go down to New Orleans the next day. Had a nice little time overnight. Got some food, Beale Street, chilling. It was good. Got a call 7:30 in the morning from the front lobby. Mr. Morgan. Yes. I'm sorry to inform you, sir, but your vehicle was among many that were targeted last night. There's damage to your car. You might want to come in check it out.
Oh, no.
Car was vandalized. Yeah, man. They broke out the rear window of the driver's side. Apparently, according to the Memphis PD, they were looking for guns and money, both of which I just don't have. So, unfortunately, had to cut the trip short. Had to get some, they call crash wrap, some plastic and some tape around the window. Wasn't going to make the trip to New Orleans, started heading back, and then we ran right smack dab into a tornado. So
damn.
We had weather, wind, rain come at us, couldn't see 20 feet in front of us, and then the plastic wrapping started coming loose. So, yeah, it was good times. Good times.
Wait, so the police bust out the window?
No, not the police. The police were saying that whoever vandalized, there were a series of, my vehicle wasn't the only one that was vandalized in the parking garage. At the parking garage at the hotel. Several vehicles were targeted. They were looking for guns and money, basically what they were saying. And also, apparently, a lot of other places in the metro area of Memphis were also targeted that same evening. So just one of those deals, unfortunately.
Looking for guns and money.
Guns and money, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, both of which, like I said, I just don't have. So, and why the Honda Cross Tour seems to be a vehicle that someone would think a gun would be in, I have no idea. But trip out part was one cat had a F-150 truck, and he's like, oh, when the police said guns and money, he went to go check his vehicle, and he was like, no, I had all this ammo. They didn't even take the ammo. So they straight just took it for the guns. They just want to get them, I guess, to get them to sell them, probably something like that. So yeah, man, that was a crazy trip, dude. Heading back, it took us a little over 10 hours to get home. It's usually about a 6.5, 7 hour trip from here to Memphis. Took like 10.5 hours just because of the storm. We were able to pull over to the side and wait it out a little bit, but it was white knuckle for a while. Yeah, so we drove a long way for some barbecue. We went down to the south side, a little bit too far, so I could just stay on I-57.
Y'all went way south.
Way south. Barbecue it. Head on back home.
Well, at least you guys are safe. And
yes, indeed.
And you're back. Sorry to hear that. So, but yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I figured let's talk some USFL football. The Philadelphia Stars took on the New Orleans Breakers. No.
A Grambling man got a block punt.
Okay.
Chad Williams
for
the
real,
New Orleans team.
How do y'all feel about the USFL? Are you like even mildly interested, pumped, don't care?
I watched the Philadelphia New Orleans re-air, and I didn't catch it live. Actually, and honestly, I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna talk some Bulls in a second, but I didn't even catch the Bulls game live. I was, doing the Easter festivities, but you could tell the quarterback play is awful.
Yeah.
The skill position guys are pretty good, and you can see some guys that are going to, that could possibly make some roster spots in the NFL. And the line players, that's the difference in the NFL and what the USFL and what the XFL is going to be next year. But it was good football. They were hitting out there, man. You heard pads clacking and
that's because nobody was in the stands.
No one was out yet. Yeah, that's why I don't get. So the game was in New Orleans. Was it? I guess the game was in New Orleans.
Was that Tulane Stadium?
Yeah,
probably.
And it wasn't in the Superdome. I know that.
No. They were outdoors. They were outdoors.
Yeah.
And there was no one. I was like, you couldn't go out and just give away free tickets to.
Yeah, they couldn't. They couldn't have, because I didn't even know that the game was in New Orleans. And I talked to a few of my boys that live in New Orleans on the regular, and they didn't mention that at all. Yeah. So
there was literally
and they take their woman on a cheap date. They didn't even care to think about it.
You could count on two hands the number of people that were in that stadium as fans. So that I didn't understand.
Right, all family members.
But were they fans or were the people working there?
Family.
I don't know, man.
Family of the players.
I don't know, but no, it was what I saw was good football. And I mean, you got to go back to before the pandemic. It was the XFL. They were doing their season. That was actually really good football.
Right, because the Panthers backup quarterback, was like one of the better stars.
Right. Well, you remember
PJ Walker.
Yeah, Pep Hamilton was his coach. Right. I think they were the Washington team, and Pep Hamilton was the head coach of that team, and now he's like the big offensive name in the NFL now. So, yeah, I look forward to some good spring football in the next few years here, and I know there's going to be a battle once the XFL starts next season. There's going to be a battle for players.
Can you advertise when the games come? I mean, like, did anybody know? Like, if a tree fell in the forest and no one told it, did the tree really fall?
I saw promos for it on because they got a contract with Fox and they got a contract with NBC.
Yeah, I saw some promo on Fox Sports, but it wasn't a lot though. It wasn't a lot.
I mean, for something new, you want to over pump it up, you know what I'm saying? And it's like barely like crickets almost.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, that's all the USFL talk we need. We had our favorite team is in the playoffs now, and I think we all felt good. Hey, we made the playoffs, and then you found out what the matchup was.
Yeah, that was
3-6 with Milwaukee, and it's like, damn. And honestly, there was no surprise in what I saw. On Sunday in game one. No, I wasn't really surprised by that.
I was.
I think that was the one game that the Bulls could have taken if they were going to get a game.
But they were getting their ass whooped.
I was surprised at how much fight they showed.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, they did.
That's why I say I was surprised.
That doesn't surprise me. This wasn't a team that outside of the
last month of the season.
Yeah, they were looking pretty.
Then when they look bad against Milwaukee though. It's just that, but this wasn't a team that didn't have fight though. That's not what it was.
I don't think it's what we're saying. And if I may, I don't mean to speak for Brandon, but I think of what they've shown late, when they start getting whooped on, it just exacerbates itself, and it's like it goes from being a 15-point loss to being a 25-point loss. And this time it started out bad. I mean, they were down. Yeah,
it was a 9-0 run. They
9-0 run from the beginning, right? And then it was like they were down like 16 points, and I'm like, man, this is a runaway. And then little by little, and it wasn't like they did it with like a 25
major
14 run, right? It was consistent chipping away, and I think that's what I was impressed with. Yeah, is that they saw some more fortitude than what they've shown over the last 2-3 weeks.
But I think Milwaukee was missing some shots. The Bulls were missing shots, and that's I think that's how they were able to chip back. That's not going to be the case come tomorrow night, game 2 and game 3 and game 4 when the series ends.
Come on, man.
I'm being real, man. I'm being real. There's no way the Bulls are going to win a game. There's no way.
They're going to win one game.
I don't see them winning a game. No.
Law of averages doesn't factor.
I liked what I saw defensively. I like the effort I saw. And if our three guys could not shoot 21 for 71,
Yes.
we got a chance to steal a game, I believe. I think they came out with a defensive plan that I think worked.
They being the Bulls, or
the Bulls. The Bulls. But they were like trapping Giannis.
Mhm.
And Giannis, he had a good game, but quite frankly, he was biting the bait. He was still trying to show he owned the Bulls and not really trusting his teammates. He should have fouled out the game for one.
Yes.
He should have fouled out the game. Like, I think the Bulls have a game plan that can help them stay in games. Right. But they have to hit shots.
Right. And get him in foul trouble. Like he should have had like 2 or 3 offensive fouls called against him.
Yes.
You know, not to mention like that one time he was over dude's back. I'm like, dude, how you on his back and they gonna call a foul on him?
Don't
like you. Yeah. I'm like, damn, like
that's called the MVP call.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Definitely.
But if there's anything I'm concerned about matchup wise, it seems like the Bulls did for what, and maybe they can do. Maybe Lopez just had that game, but Lopez and Bobby Portis just seem to be problematic for the Bulls in terms of just their length and the times when the Bulls, you think you got them stopped, and they get that put back or they just, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, Lopez is he still looks so, I don't know, robotic or just stiff, but shit just went in, man. It was very frustrating. Very frustrating. And Bobby's gonna always stick it to the Bulls because he has that kind of mentality. He petty that way. He gonna always try and stick it to the Bulls. And it's just that those guys give us problems. We don't necessarily play with the athleticism to stop Bobby or the physicality to stop Lopez. And that's kind of, I see it as a long-term issue. Like, I'm not as worried about Giannis. I mean, Giannis is Giannis. Like you say, you're gonna devise things to try and stop him. And point guard's name slipping my mind right quick.
Holiday.
Holiday is going to be annoying at times, but the Bulls had a chance to win that game, even as poorly as they played. And they were right there. Hell, they came back and took the lead. I mean, that was impressive. But Vooch has got to.
You're acting like the Bucks played great that game. They did.
No, well, part of them not playing well is because the Bulls are giving them some looks that they hadn't really were used to.
Yeah,
and they're at home, so I don't want to hear about them not playing well. Y'all at home, y'all got the advantage
because they started out amazing.
Started out like a house of fire. So
the Bulls had to change something for that to change on their end. The Bulls never really played amazing from start to finish.
No. They just play with tenacity.
Hey, shout out to Bulls Nation. They were in the house Sunday in Milwaukee, man. That didn't necessarily feel like a road game. From just watching, from what I saw watching, it was a lot of Bulls cheering going on. So shout out to Bulls fans. That's awesome.
I think Chicagoans, for a reason, low key like going up to Milwaukee because whether it's the Bulls, the Cubs, White Sox, it's the Green Bay game and Green Bay's play. The Bulls. Chicago fans travel, to Wisconsin. That don't seem to be too much. That's like like a home away from home. It seems like.
Yeah, but then, man, I think all of our sports, man, travel everywhere. It seems, but this one, mind you, Milwaukee's only 90 miles away,
right?
So that helps. But good to see that. Good to see. I guess that was the one win,
one shining moment
that came out in game one, no doubt about it. So game two. How do they come out? What's the
P. Will has got to shoot the effing ball, man. Good Lord, dude. Shoot the ball. Three attempts he had the entire game? And they had to step to him like, dude, shoot the ball, man. I mean, dude, Come on, bro. We need you.
This is what
you're a potential X factor. A potential X factor. You got the size and the athleticism and the length, and you can do things. He literally can do things. He just doesn't try to do them. He needs to. Dude, you got to. You just, I don't know. I don't think he's scared. I just think he's just too deferential, man.
Yeah, I mean that people talk about how important that P. Will is to this team when he got hurt, but I was like, I always see that tentative side of him that for whatever reason, just it's almost as though he doesn't feel that he's ready.
Yeah, I'm not worthy. He plays like I'm not worthy.
Yeah.
But now it's really excessive now. Like when he got hurt, it was a big deal because you have the whole season to fix that.
Right.
You get hurt fifth game of the year, don't come back to the last 10 games.
Yeah.
After injury, you were already timid pre-injury. After injury, we think he gonna come out being like, that's why I hurt so much, because the time that he missed could have been the time that he came out of that type of player, so that's where it hurts.
Or we would have found out he just isn't.
Or because it's still like, because he missed so much time, we don't really know.
Right, and then he teased you because he showed there was a couple of games.
The last game of the season,
but
the game against Milwaukee, I was there at that one. That we got blew out, but he had he had like 19 or something. He shot like 8 for 12 or something like that. And then the game against Minnesota where he had a career high 35 or 34 or something. Like, it's like, dude.
Right. So that should let you know.
And you had that and you were efficient. Like, it wasn't like you had a career high. You was just out there. They want me to score. I'm just going to jack up shots. No, you were efficient. So that means you got yourself in position to get quality looks and you knock down the shots. Like, why can't you do that with the guys on the floor?
It's perplexing. It's like I don't know if y'all watching Moon Knight on Disney Plus. The new.
No, I'm not.
That's the new series, right?
This new series of Moon Knight. Yeah. It's like dude's got like multiple personalities, like like dissociative identity disorder, DID. And it's like there's different P. Wills out there. The dude that scores 35 is like, that's the Moon Knight. The guy that's like taking 3 shots. That's like the quiet, timid guy.
That game reminded me. I remember when Tony Snell was with us in the summer league. He was averaging like 32 points a game in the summer. That's what that reminded me of. I didn't put too much into that. Into the was it the Minnesota game? Yeah. When the Bulls played Minnesota, I didn't put too much into that because I did. Yeah, it felt like a summer league game.
Yeah, I agree. I understand.
You can do it though.
But the efficiency is what
it's Tony. It was Tony Snell, and we see where Tony Snell is now.
But how efficient was he? Is the question.
He what?
How efficient was Snell? Snell's been in the league for a while.
Snell was. Oh, let me tell you how efficient Snell is. There was a game where he played 31 minutes.
No, I'm saying in that game where you say he was scoring 30 plus.
Yeah. Oh no,
I was asking how efficient was he?
Oh, I have no clue. I just know that he was averaging 32 in the summer league, and they won a summer league title. I'm saying Tony Snell just recently had a game where he played 31 minutes, had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists.
Yeah, I
saw it. He didn't do nothing. In 30, it was like he was just running.
Hey,
31 minutes.
Hey, he did that, and then game 1 of the Phoenix.
Talk about, dude. He played 31 minutes.
He played 31 minutes.
Had no stats.
Didn't take a shot.
No stats.
No assists.
No rebounds.
Did
he foul anybody? 0 fouls.
No, he had all zeros across the entire.
But listen,
it was amazing.
I think this one is even funnier. Game 1 of the Phoenix New Orleans series, Jay Crowder had 1 in every statistical category.
I think that's amazing.
How do you do that? Like, I mean, I can see 0 because that just means you ain't touched the ball. Like, I don't know what. Snell was just on the court running sprints. He was just on the floor running sprints.
But nobody noticed for like 25 of those 31 minutes.
Man.
That's amazing. I had a teacher in high school who said that we were talking about GPA, and he said it's easier to get a 4.0 all A's GPA than to get all C's.
Oh,
like to get perfect C's. He said it would take more work to get perfect C's than it would to get all A's. And I think that's what Tony Snell did a all C.
It just seems inhumanly possible. How you just running in 31 minutes?
And he had no field goal attempts.
No, I don't think he had a field goal attempt. No,
I don't want to go back to the ball. No. He's open on the other side of the court.
So yeah, that's what P. Will's 35 felt like to me. Just maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's just what it felt like.
No, I can agree. I just, like I said, it was the efficiency that showed me like you can get quality looks and knock down the shots. That was what, because like I said, like I viewed it like, so you say summer league, I look at it like G League. When them guys go to the G Leagues and they be putting up crazy numbers, and then they get a 10-day contract and can barely score 2 points. Like, dude, you just scored 50 in the G League. That's why I tell people the G League is a joke. It's
the minor leagues, man. Like in baseball, you had guys that go down to AAA and they hitting 375 at AAA, and then they come up and can't touch a baseball. That happens.
It does. Baseball is a little different. They gonna have an 0 for 4 stint in there. They ain't gonna just be doing outrageous stuff.
You mean at the minor league level?
Yeah, at the minor league level. Like a AAA, they probably gonna get more hits. But even in baseball, if you can hit the ball well every at bat and still go 0 for 4.
Yeah.
In basketball, these guys is putting up crazy numbers. Like Isaiah Thomas in the G League was scoring like 40 a game. Like 40 a game. And stayed on 10-day contracts.
Yeah. How many teams did he play for this year?
He played for the Lakers. He played for the Hornets. Who else he played for? I think I know them two for sure. I don't know if anyone else, but yeah, man.
That's crazy. That dude at one point was like the guy in Boston.
Yep.
That accident, or was it accident or his sister passed?
His sister passed from a car accident.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It happened in the playoffs against the Bulls.
Remember that, yeah.
But he had some kind of injury, though.
Yeah, he had a damn, I forgot. Was it a shoulder?
Whatever, something like that. Whatever that injury was,
That's why he didn't get the pay. That's why he didn't get paid.
Right.
And
he played for the Mavs for one game.
Wow.
This year. So he played for the Mavs, the Hornets, and the Lakers.
Okay.
More power to him. But yeah, the Bulls, I want them to do well. And I'm gonna cheer for them as usual, and I'm gonna make my my normal wagers for DeRozan to score over 25 and Zach over 20.
They both let you down.
They sure did. But it wasn't only him, because I said that Giannis was going to score over 30, and he didn't get there. And I had Vooch under 16 and a half, and Vooch beat me. He scored 24. So
of course he did.
Yeah, wager didn't go too well in game 1, but we're gonna do it again in game 2. So I'm gonna be cheering for these guys. But yeah, it's a bad matchup. So this is really just a learning. It's a learning experience at this point right now.
It is a bad matchup.
Yeah,
just compete is all I ask, and let's look to see what we can do next year. Whew, I'm dreading to see what this decision they're gonna make on Zach though.
I was just about to bring that up. What is he the supermax player that somebody's gonna sign him? Somebody's gonna sign him for his.
He's
max.
not the supermax player, but the Bulls, do you not give him the money? Is the question.
Right.
That's the question. And I don't think he's a supermax player, but I mean, but honestly, I'm saying that because of the team we have. Like, because it's guys that got supermax that I think he's better than, but they are on better teams too. You know, so I mean, hell, shoot, Michael Porter Jr. can get a supermax contract and only play 45 games in his career.
Did he get he got the supermax?
Yes.
Wow.
Michael Porter Jr. is getting 2 something, I believe.
Wow.
I know a guy who works for his agent.
So Joker must already have it too. There, how many Supermax contracts can you have on a team? Just
so
two,
they got
probably?
him. They got Murray.
Murray.
I don't know. I think Porter Jr. might be getting 195, and has literally passed. That boy got drafted in what 2016 or 17, and has played 45 games.
People wanted the Bulls to draft him, and he got drafted. Who did the Bulls pick instead of him?
No, we picked Kobe.
Was it Kobe? Yeah, Kobe. Yeah. So
it's been 4 years, right? This is Kobe's 4th year, 3rd year.
This is 3rd year, isn't it?
3rd year.
So Michael Porter Jr. got drafted in 2018.
No, that wasn't the same drafting because Kobe didn't get picked until 19, I believe.
So who did we pick?
Or was it 20? Wait.
All this stuff
20.
Is weird.
He
now.
got 19. The 19-20 season, right?
So who did we pick?
So I feel like it may have been Lowry.
Oh, I think it was Lowry.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
Marketing. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to game 2. At least you know what I'm saying. At least
I can't tell.
They show. I just know that they're gonna lose, and that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. So how you can't wait? You know they're gonna lose.
I'm looking forward to it because you know what they did. They played. You know, even though they played bad, they were in it. They fought.
Looking like you looking forward to cashing out. That's what it sounds
like. All you got. I hope to cash out too. Because they got me some money. I showed y'all the Miami game. Well, the Bulls got me some money in that game. So yeah. I'm gonna hopefully cash out. Yes, sir. No doubt about it.
So you saying full sweep?
Yes.
Full.
Yes.
Oh man.
Unfortunately.
Wow. That brings the season to a screeching halt.
Yeah. Hey, let's just go around the league real quick. Tonight, Miami took a 2-0 lead over Atlanta. You think Atlanta can fight back in that series?
Not without Capella.
No, I think they can get a game, maybe, but no Capella is killing them.
What happened to Atlanta that they go from Eastern Conference Finals last season to back to?
That's a great question.
Being just a regular team,
just a young team, maybe. Just
it's weird because they were trending to be the same way they were last year. They started off super slow last year and got hot, and they were trending in that fashion leading into the play-in, and then Capella got hurt.
Right.
I think this series against Miami would be a lot tougher if Capella's playing. But I don't think they beat Miami, but I think it'd be tough. So I don't know what it is that they don't come into the season with like immense focus or something, like, because they last year got the coach fired.
Right.
Nate McMillan came in, they changed it around. So you'll think coming into this season, okay, you got Nate McMillan, he secured the job. Right. They came out slow again.
Super slow, even slower than last year.
Even slower. And then picked it up towards the end. So I don't know.
It's always been a weird team. You know.
Jimmy scored 45 tonight, by the way.
Did he really?
In a big night. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Jimmy.
Brooklyn and Boston. Boston leads 1-0. Kyrie.
That was a
Kyrie
wow.
flipping off fans. He got fined $50,000 today.
Must be nice
by
to
the
be fine.
NBA.
Hey, them fans.
It don't matter.
Hey, I know them fans. I know them fans don't care because they won. But I know one thing: they might want to leave that man alone.
Yeah,
because he was feeding off of that shit.
He really was. I mean, you never seen that real time.
He was feeding off of that. I'm like, good Lord, leave him alone. Stop talking to him. Because God, Boston, they were lucky getting out of there with that one.
And it's crazy because they forced so many turnovers.
Mm-hmm. It looked like, and then in the third, it looked like they were about to run away with it.
And then
that's why I say they were lucky, because they almost literally gave that game away.
Yes. And it looks like they have a pretty good plan defensively. I mean, at no point did I feel like Durant was taking over the game like Durant does.
He had a tough game. One. But I wonder how light them whistles gonna be. They were real physical with Durant. So it's gonna be interesting to see if the refs let them continue to be that physical.
Maybe just in Brooklyn they won't. Maybe you have to go 7 and Boston have to take advantage of their home court.
Yeah.
But
I've never understood this. Why does officiating change with home court? Why is that?
Because it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Yes. We saw that they wasn't going to let the MVP candidate foul out of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The NBA is
I'm coming over to your side there. I'm coming
it's
over.
a wild establishment, man.
I'm coming over.
I want to be a little more
it's about entertainment.
Be a little more positive. A little less. It's a human element.
Vince McMahon writes the script.
Wow. Not that bad.
Wow.
Maybe just a human element. I mean, those the refs, they feel it. You know, they get a sense of the ebb and flow of things, and they may have a wager or two. It's not like they have it in the past.
The wager thing has been proven, by the way.
It has been proven.
That happened.
Ted Dennehy?
What was his name?
Donahue.
Donahue. Yeah.
I mean, jokes aside, I mean, I think sometimes it's the human element does, you know, the crowd can move and sway you. Certain players litigating on the court can move and sway you. Coaches, hey man, he's doing this. Look next time. Look next time. Look next time. Look. Eventually, you're gonna look next time, and then you'll be like, okay, I see what he's saying, and I'll give him this call, so you shut the fuck up. So they make the call, and then the guy shuts the hell up, and he's like, hey, look, I gave you one. You know, so the concept. I mean, you look at it. It's like going to, you know, to DC or going to the Capitol. It's just constant litigation, you know, all up and down there, you know. And I think, you know, at home, maybe they allow, you know, the home team to a little more latitude than they do the visiting team. And obviously superstars get more latitude. That's nothing new. That's probably one thing that about the NBA that probably stands out more than any other professional team sport. At least here in the States, you know, hockey, you don't get that in hockey. You definitely don't get that. The NFL, you only kind of get it. You kind of get it when it comes to quarterback.
You can get it in hockey.
maybe, but you don't see it to the degree because in hockey they'll review a call in a heartbeat, and they'll make a change, But I'm saying, and I'm comparing it in terms of like basketball. Like basketball, it's like it doesn't matter what game. It can be the worst two teams in the NBA, and you still gonna see, that kind of stuff happen where the refs are gonna, make a call. Well, and it's not just professional basketball. It happens in college. It happens in high school levels. It's just something about basketball. The nature of the sport organically allows these refs. Now maybe because they're tired of running sometimes. I don't know. They can hear the fans. They're close. They hear the threats.
So they're worried about their lives.
Hey,
okay, all right.
That could be it. I mean, even baseball. The refs almost make bad calls in baseball, but maybe pitchers might get a little bit. You might see it with that, but it's not necessarily. I guess Maddox and Glavine kind of got it back in the '90s. You might have seen that a little bit, but. Here and there, basketball, it's like, like I said, even the two worst teams and those superstars, that should still happen.
Hey, Philly and Toronto. Philly's up 2-0. They've got game 3 tomorrow night. I watched a little bit of game 2. Yeah, this series is over. Toronto just can't hang with Philly. It's not possible.
No, what's the name? Hurts. Scotty Barnes out hurts.
Right. I wonder if with the same teams, if we mix up the matchups, would that make a difference? Because the Bulls, I'm with you, Ez. I mean, the Bulls look like it's going to be a 4-0 sweep. We just said Philly looks like a 4-0 sweep, and unless the Hawks can do something, the first round in the East could be like around a first round sweep, with the exception of the Boston and the Nets.
Brooklyn.
But I'm just wondering if there were different matchups, like if the Bulls were playing Boston,
Toronto?
would that be a little different? Toronto. If the Bulls were playing Toronto,
the Bulls are playing Toronto, I think they get to the second round. I'm sure of it.
If the Nets are playing the Heat, that's a different vibe altogether. If the Hawks are playing, if the Hawks playing Boston, or if the Hawks are playing Milwaukee, I mean, with a healthy Capella, I just wonder if there were different matchups, would it be a little different? I'm just wondering. It might not, but it possibly could be. But yeah, it looks like 3 of the 4 matchups are going to be just straight sweeps.
Yeah. Western Conference, Golden State's up on Denver 2-0, which
sweep.
I think it's going to be a sweep. I think Denver's going to win a game.
They could win one.
Yeah, they're going to win one.
They can win
even
one.
Though, they go back to
sweep.
Denver here. That altitude can play with you at times. And,
and Clay, we don't really know how Clay's going to hold up per se, like fatigue wise. I'm not saying he's going to fall apart because he'll be injured or anything like that. But it's just like, the playoffs is you play at a different level, different intensity. And Poole's playing out of his mind, so it may not make a difference.
That's why I say they gotta worry about that month, not. And Steph coming off the bench.
Off the bench. That looks like
I say sweep.
Sweep. All right. Denver's gonna win
I consider I do consider the altitude factor, but I feel like that's mainly an issue when it comes to football and other sports.
I wouldn't be surprised if they come back to San Francisco tied at 2.
I'll be very surprised.
That wouldn't shock.
I'll be very surprised.
So if Jokic can get some of those calls, he keeps clamoring for it, maybe. Or if he gets.
But you just said they're going home, so yeah, maybe he's going to get the home MVP calls.
Right, yeah, possible.
By the way, he needs to settle down. Did you see where he Gary Payton tapped him on the ass, and he got furious.
He was ready.
Steph had to hold him back. Like, yo, dude, yeah, settle down, man. It wasn't, that was a sign of endearment.
Maybe he didn't like that kind of endearment.
Maybe not. Jokic, man, that was something else.
Jokic brothers don't play.
They don't, not at all. All right. Elsewhere, the Dallas Mavericks and Utah Jazz, their series is tied at 1. Game 3 coming up later tonight. Jalen Brunson had a day.
Had a day.
The pride of Stevenson, 41 points in game 2. They're tied up. I thought with Jokic, with Luka Doncic being out, that Utah could possibly run away with this, and that's not happening.
No, that's not happening, dude.
Jalen. I mean, it's Utah.
What does that even mean?
They just
they're a good team.
Are they?
Aren't they?
They're talking about blowing it up.
Yeah, really? They need to.
Yeah, they talking about blowing that team up. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, they can they afford to? I mean, how often does Utah put together a good team?
I mean, that's true too.
Every 20 years, they get a Malone and a Stockton.
Every cycle.
Hey, Chicago sign and trade Zach for Donovan Mitchell. Just random thought.
No, I'm thinking about that.
If he Utah wants out, that's what I. Hey,
well,
look,
it depends on
Donovan. If Donovan wants out, what do you do?
They're either sending Donovan away or they're sending Gobert away. One of the two has got to go.
Would you not want Gobert? Just two.
Jay Will brought up a good point. Trading Vooch for Gobert.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
That wouldn't be a bad move.
I'm with that.
At least I know not to worry about offense.
Yeah.
My expectations.
And I know you ain't gonna just be running scot free to the rim either.
Right. Exactly. and we will get rebounds.
I think we're gonna talk about that in future dates. We'll discuss that. Then the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's 1-0 right now. Minnesota leads.
Memphis is up 20. They are big right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Memphis should run away with this if they play to their capabilities, but Minnesota, man, can make you play out of your character.
Yeah, Minnesota's tricky.
Yeah, Minnesota's tricky. They make you play out your character. Next thing you know, you like, what are we doing here? And I felt that's what Memphis was like. What are we doing? Like, what is going on?
Well, Memphis say not tonight. They have 115-88 tonight.
Hey, play program director for TNT. Would you rather have Phoenix and New Orleans or Minnesota, Memphis?
Minnesota, Memphis.
Well, Minnesota, Memphis is in the fourth quarter. So
right, but they put them on NBA TV though.
I'd rather have Minnesota, Memphis.
That's because but you got to think they start Central Time. They start Central Time, and you have Miami on.
They had the Miami game first.
They had the Miami game on, so that's
what you could change. You could change those times. I'm just saying.
But why? I don't want you changing my time just for TV.
So don't they do that all the time anyway?
Yeah,
putting us. But no, it makes sense. O'clock.
That makes sense. Phoenix is West Coast time, so Pacific time, so that makes sense.
Well,
right.
I mean,
and they're the number one seed. You don't put the number one seed on NBA TV, man.
Yeah, that might be a little disrespectful. By the way, that series, Phoenix is up 1-0, and
it didn't even look close.
They're winning right now, but it's early. It's early. I don't like Phoenix Suns fans. I don't know why. Oh wow, Mayweather's at the Phoenix game.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably placed a bet on something.
Hey, you can gamble everywhere now. Well, almost everywhere. I found out in Florida you can't place online bets.
Can't place online bets. You can't apparently get math books without them being banned.
That's true too. Yes. Somehow,
critical race theory.
Critical race theory is somehow in math now. I don't know. Gotta teach me about that. Hey, last thing.
This damn Arabic numbers.
Last thing, before we go, we've been watching Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers Dynasty on HBO. Really, really good show on the Showtime Lakers. And we're seven episodes in, and we're trying not to spoil anything, but just thoughts on that on that show.
You know one thing, man, we was talking about it. Well, we was talking earlier, and one thing that I've been tripped out on that I learned from Winning Time, I didn't know the coin flip was between the Lakers and the Bulls.
Lakers and Bulls. Yeah, absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a true story.
I'm like, damn, Magic Johnson could have been a Bull. That's wild. True
story.
But thank God he wasn't, because we wouldn't have Michael Jordan probably.
Yeah. That would have altered history some.
Right, but
now
that I had some championships though, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, Magic went into a great team as was. Yeah. But who knows? Because Rod Thorne was the GM at that point, right? For the Bulls.
That I'm not.
For the Bulls, I don't know. I know he was when they drafted Mike.
Right.
I don't know if he was then.
I'm not certain if he was then. I don't think he was then.
Now the interesting part I found about it, but you told me you brought up the coin flip for that draft. It was between Magic and I think the Bulls drafted David Greenwood, right?
I think so.
But the Lakers were talking about trying to get Sidney Moncrief. Mm-hmm. So I find it interesting that the Bulls didn't draft Sidney Moncrief with that pick. And I don't know, maybe it's because they already had Reggie Theus.
Probably.
But that seemed like you can tell me, Glenn, because you were around at that point. I wasn't around then.
Actually, I was still a little too young. To pay attention. I wasn't paying attention to NBA basketball to that degree at that point in time because stuff was still tape delayed. You didn't really see.
That's amazing to me.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. You didn't see that. I would see stuff like 10 o'clock at night. Can I stay and watch the second half of the game? It'd be like a Midwest game that already been played. And then forget about seeing the Bulls. I mean, you're hard pressed to catch a Bulls game. Basically, you're either seeing the 76ers, Boston, or maybe the Lakers and maybe the Phoenix Suns.
I remember Houston. That.
Yep.
I remember CBS was the game of the week on Sunday, and it was always LA, or it would be a doubleheader that would have. It would either be Boston and the Sixers against somebody, right? And it would be the Lakers on the West Coast against another Western Conference team. Occasionally, you see the Milwaukee Bucks,
right? And you might catch Houston,
right. And then when Jordan came in, they got some games. They got a few games on CBS early.
Maybe early, but not much. You'd have to catch those games on Sports Channel.
Yeah.
So the Bulls
they got a couple of that. I remember watching Bulls games on that national Bulls games. You would see a Bulls Bucks, Bulls Celtics.
I remember being away at school and saying, "Thank God for WGN," because that was the only way I could watch Bulls games because they were not on the national news. But I think with this show, and again, I haven't seen the show in totality, but a lot of the excerpts and like the highlights or just the commercial, I'm amazed at whoever the casting director is, because that Larry Bird dude looks like Larry Bird.
He does. He
Magic.
Definitely does.
Magic in a lot of instances, I'm like, man, dude, he really comes across like looking like Magic. And just a lot of other various people, obviously Norman Nixon's kind of cheating because it's his son.
Because that's his son, right?
But some of these people, I'm like, dude, where did they find these people? like they look like them. I mean, what's the dude playing Pat Riley? He's a longtime actor.
Adrian Brody.
Right, Adrian Brody. I'm like, you gotta make sense, but just some of these people we've never seen before. I'm like, where did they find these people? But I don't know, man. It seems like it's a good show. I hear nothing but good things about it. Everybody seems to be watching who's into basketball, swears by how good the show is.
I'm coming out. I've seen all 7 episodes. I'm a huge fan of Jerry Buss now. I didn't know much about him, but he's an interesting dude, man.
Yeah.
Big fan of his. I find the Kareem character really, really intriguing. He's, they called him Cap, but he really wasn't a leader of that team. I mean, everyone respected him, but he wasn't leading that team.
That was it. He was a respected.
Yeah, he was just respected. So I find that
fearful.
And the guy that's playing Magic is doing a great job, and he's Magic is just his happy-go-lucky self, and it's a man. I'm having fun watching the show. I'm really interested to see where it's going to go, and I want to read the book because this is based on the book Winning Time by what's the guy's name? He did Walter Payton's biography as well. Jeff Pearlman, that's his name. So yeah, by the book by Jeff Pearlman. So I'm interested in reading and even reading that book. But yeah, highly recommend it, man.
Well, let me ask you this: how accurate do you think a lot of this is? I mean, how much? I'm like, is it 20% they taking liberties, 30%, 40%, or is it like 95% you think on point? Like, how do you gauge this?
I think that the actual the foundation of it is true, but obviously there's some things that they're doing to dramatize it,
Yeah.
But the actual facts, what I'm saying, the ground facts, I think are true. I think that without giving some things up, when Dr. Buss purchased the team, I think he was, close to bankruptcy, those things. Now, some of the things that happened through that maybe didn't happen, that they did. But the fact that they were on the verge, I think was true, things like that, so.
The logo seems to be pretty upset about this. He has some issues. So is that because it's accurate, or he just feels like he's being completely depicted in a complete inaccurate way?
I think it's got to be hitting at some point. At some point, man. And actually, I don't even think it's that bad.
That's me too. It's like he comes off to me as very passionate.
Yeah. He loves the Lakers.
About winning and loves the Lakers. And that's all we've ever heard.
Yeah.
Throughout our life. Like Jerry West, his love for the Lakers. He's what they're showing is extreme passion. Like, it's extreme. He's going crazy. But I don't see nothing wrong with it. Maybe he don't like the fact that they're saying he quit right before the season or something.
But that happened though.
So that's a fact. So he can't be upset about a fact,
right?
So, yeah. So, and I'm like, and the fact that you did that and they still welcomed you around to still give input is what I'm getting. Where are the lies? What is being done that you lie?
What you mad at?
I don't want to say the last episode, but you didn't like how you were pissed about the play-by-play of the Celtics game. What was it like? So I mean,
I find it funny though. one more. This might be a little spoiler, but after he did quit, Sherry Buss came in. God damn, your damn Mr. Clutch just quit on me. I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, maybe he just he doesn't like that, but I mean, man, it is what it is, man. It's entertainment, and we probably shouldn't take it too seriously. I found it and read that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar doesn't like the series. I know Magic doesn't. Magic came out and said he wouldn't watch it. Kareem said, he just finds it boring and that the writing is lazy. That's what he said. Doesn't have an issue with how he's being portrayed, but just thinks that the writing is lazy. So all right. So he just doesn't like it at all. He doesn't find it.
Magic has a documentary showing soon, right?
Yeah, I saw. So I guess it premiered the other night. They did a little premiere, not a little premiere. It was some pretty famous people there. But I guess it's gonna be on Apple TV coming up in late April. So that should be interesting.
That might be why he's not.
But it's two different things though.
But I'm saying that's probably the way to get people to watch.
Well, people are gonna watch his documentary too, though.
I mean, it's on Apple TV. Shoot, I gotta go through hoops to try to figure out how to watch it.
Well, maybe he should have picked another streaming,
like
a more easily watched streaming service.
Showtime, HBO.
Right, should have just gone against, yeah. But yeah, I know I'm gonna watch Magic's.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm sure I'll find it.
But yeah, no
matter
what,
it's very easy to find.
So I guess this is gonna be Magic's last dance. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
That's yeah.
But
it's I think it's 4 episodes.
So what is this? It's just encapsulating what the end of his career, or like
no, I think it's
from start to finish.
Everything, start to finish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So should
Michael Jordan's supposed to be on it.
Is he?
A lot of people, yeah, he was on First Take. He said Mike on it, Larry on it. It's a bunch of guys on it, he said.
Is our very own Carl Nix on it?
I don't know. I don't know.
We should ask him.
Yeah.
We should ask. Well, he's gonna make when Larry does his, whenever that happens.
Right.
You gotta get a Larry Bird.
If that ever happens.
Yeah, Larry may not be like, whatever, man. I don't want that. But no, it's gotta be a Larry Day. If Larry's got a doc coming, I think Carl Nix will be on it.
I would actually watch the Larry document. If you asked me that 30 years ago, I might have been like, no, the hell with that. But I've grown older and wiser and can appreciate the game that Larry Bird played out there on the court.
I think the Larry doc would open up a lot of unknown things that happen.
Yeah, a lot of
secrets. Yeah. Nobody knows about Larry Bird, So that would be interesting. Hey, let's wrap this thing up. That'll do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. We want to thank you for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can catch our wonderful podcast at Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast, iHeartRadio too. You can also catch us at hp53productions.com. There you'll find our podcast as well as the Super Duper podcast hosted by Rob Griggs and the Father Good podcast hosted by Marshall Givens and Kenny Stevenson. Both have new pods up right now, so please go check them out. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, man, it's like I always say, we ain't saying we're right, but we sure as hell ain't like Tony Snell running around for 31 minutes. Don't put up no damn stats. Put up stats, damn it.
Hey, he just felt like running that day. That's all.
He was trying to break a sweat.
We'll catch you next week.